Hey guys, today I'm going to read you a little something I wrote. Not too long ago, a friend asked me, what is love like? On the offset, this should have been a very easy question for me to answer, but me, personally, I take things and I kind of run with them. When I see a prompt that I really like, I tend to elaborate and I really delve deep into the idea. And that was so strange to me because I never heard anyone ask that question quite like that. To describe love in a different manner or to say it's like something means that you have to know what love is first, and it's really hard to do that. And there's so many different perspectives, so many different ways you can approach the analogy or the metaphor of what love is like. For instance, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Well, you wouldn't describe life as a box of chocolates, but if you're going to say life is like something, then you choose something that's kind of apt, that really makes sense to you as a person. So if I were to describe love, and maybe I like to exercise or I'm a runner, maybe I'd describe love as like a marathon. A rider, I could be like, well, love is like a blank page. To me, I was really trying to find a way to capture love using an analogy that made it simple yet kept the complexity of what love is there. And so I kind of came up with a story. I'm going to link the original transcript that I posted on my blog to that so you can just see my kind of first draft. And today I kind of wanted to read it to you. Bear with me. Okay. Love is like searching for a symphony that's been stuck in your head since the beginning of time. See, at first you're not worried about it because it's just a beautiful song that you've heard over and over. But after a while it starts like nagging at you because no one else seems to be able to hear that song. So maybe you find that other people also have a song that they hear that's in their head, but it's not the same one. It's not the one that you're describing. It's not the one that you hear day after day. Maybe you realize later on that you're only hearing part of the song. And maybe it's a certain instrument. Like say you're the cello and there's another instrument missing, but you don't know what it is. So you're searching for it. And at times you feel like everyone has someone to play their song with except you. And it's beautiful and it's imaginative. They complement one another and you see what finding that other instrument would be like. And you're still playing alone. So maybe you play a little bit louder. Maybe then you play faster and you find someone who's playing just as loud as you are and it fits. And you are struck with how amazing you two sound together. And it's just so you and it works. And maybe sure you tell your friends that there's some dissonant chords at times, but it doesn't matter because you feel like you are good with each other and you're playing well together. But maybe you start slowing the song down or playing a little softer. And then you realize maybe you weren't really playing the same song and it's not really sounding the same anymore. So you start playing louder or maybe she starts playing louder and then you're trying to find the rhythm again and you're trying to get it to sync up, but then like the strings start to break or you start hitting sour notes. It just doesn't go right. Now you have to fix your instrument, you have to fix your cello, and you have to get back in tune. And then you decide you can't play together anymore. And so you start searching again. In your search you start playing with other people. Sometimes you find out that they're not just playing the same song. And sometimes it is the same song, but it's like a different movement. Sometimes the person you're wanting to play the song with, they're just out of tune. Maybe she's just the wrong instrument. Maybe she's a piano and you're looking for a violin. And in your search you get tired of it, so maybe you decide you don't want to listen to the song anymore and you stop thinking about it. But it's a song that's been stuck in your head since you can remember, so it just comes back later. But while you're alone, you decide to look at other people's songs and you start to see things from a different perspective. Some people, while they are brilliant together, you realize that not everyone has it as figured out as you initially thought. That some people are perfectly fine playing different songs, which is weird. And sometimes they just take turns playing their own part. Maybe your parents, maybe they started playing a beautiful song long ago, but they've forgotten how to do that. Eventually they stopped listening to each other. They started slipping on some notes, the timing started getting off, and then eventually they just decided they didn't want to play together anymore. And then you talk to your friend about the song that he's playing with his partner, and sometimes you realize that you have to be the words of wisdom. Friend, I think I know the song that you're describing to me. hate to say it, but it's not the song that you're playing right now. So if you talk about your song to other people, the song that you're hearing, you get a lot of advice. She's playing, she's out there, she's playing the song. You're just not listening correctly. Find a nice flute. I'm with a flute, and I think you'd be great with a flute. Doesn't matter what song you're playing, as long as you can both agree that you're both playing a song, right? Have you tried playing the solo part? Wait, hold on a second. You're telling me that there's a solo part? Yeah, it's written right here. It's on the page. This is all you. You don't need anyone else. Okay? So maybe you try it. And maybe you start practicing every day for a while and you learn what it means to understand your own instrument, who you are. And then you begin to love this part, and then you begin to think to yourself, you can play this over and over for a long time. And almost immediately, as soon as you start getting comfortable with who you are and what your instrument is, you hear it, and it's a cello. It sounds very familiar. And you think, finally, someone who understands me. They understand who they are, and they understand you, and they understand your part, and you both start playing together, and you both enjoy it, and you both enjoy these variations that you've put onto the music. You enjoy listening to each other and those solos, and everything's going smoothly until one of you decides to move on past the solo, to maybe play a different part of the song. And when one of you starts to want to move on, you realize that it's not the same if you're both playing the exact same part. Things just aren't fitting. And even though it's a beautiful song and you both play it brilliantly, you just don't want to play with the same instrument anymore. And so you move on. And just when you think you can never find someone else to play the song with, here comes a violin. It's soft and it's beautiful, but you hesitate. You don't want to get caught up into this. You don't want to rush into things anymore. So you listen, and it's beautiful. And maybe you have heard it. Maybe you were just playing so loudly with someone else so that you couldn't hear. Or maybe you were just both playing different parts for a time. Or maybe it's that she needed some time to restring or to retune. Either way, this is the same song. You know it. You start to realize it slowly, but still, you're sure. And it's like you both know the next part, you both know the next phrase, you both know the next note that's supposed to come and in the right timing, and then you start playing more confidently and it goes great and it's beautiful. You begin to learn parts of the song that you never even knew existed. You hear her solo and she listens to yours. And sometimes you decide you can improv, or at other times, you know, there might be a few mistakes, but you agree that you're both still playing the exact same song. You begin to figure things out together until one day you come to a pivotal moment in the song and she just stops. Because she's played this part with someone before and things didn't go so well. But you're both willing to try this time. And every time you start, she hesitates and you don't move forward. But you wait. You allow her to find her place again, to go back. And then you play and the notes come slow again. And you're both timid and you're wondering if you can do this, but you keep playing anyway. And then when nothing bad happens, you pick it up and you gain confidence again. And eventually you're playing this new phrase. It's more beautiful than you ever expected. And that's when you realize you don't want to play the song with anyone else. And she agrees. So then you tell your friends. You tell them that you're going to play a new part of the song, except you want everyone that comes to play with you guys. So you send out the orchestration, you send out the sheet music, you send out the save the dates, and you plan every detail so that you know it's going to be just right. And everyone knows their part. Everyone shows up on that fateful day. And it's kind of scary. And you get nervous, and she does too. And maybe you're wondering, is this really the time to try something brand new? That's when your friend tells you, yeah, I think so. You know, I've heard the song that you've described to me plenty of times. And though I couldn't picture it before, I hear it now. And I see both of you together, and I think that you are both playing the same song. And this is the one that you've been talking about. And so, for one day only, everyone plays your song. The song isn't over. And even though everyone off is playing their own songs now, you're finding new ways, new parts of the song to learn. Each new piece is like another challenge. And though at times you like to approach things differently, eventually you both start playing and it all comes together. Or sometimes you go back to other parts of the song you never played together. And that's what playing together looks like. And just when you think you couldn't play the song any better, along comes this new instrument. Tiny one. And it adds this new element of the song that you never really thought could be there. You know, it's a little off at times, but it's this little drum, just fits into y'all's orchestration. But you know, it's only a matter of time before the drum starts hearing his own song, kind of like you did way back when. And maybe your best friend comes over with their little xylophone. The little one's trying to understand how to play together, just to learning how to play an instrument. Friend hears it first and they're like, hey, do you think they're playing the same song? And you turn to your friend and you say, I don't know. Maybe. I'm gonna let him figure it out. And that, for me, is what love is like. Searching for a symphony that's been stuck in your head for as long as you can remember. Anyway, that is basically more or less the transcript that's in the blog, and sorry this is so long, and I want to keep exploring this concept. Try to imagine a Pixar type short to maybe go along with this, and so I'm trying to creatively search for different outlets to make this metaphor, this analogy, become a reality. I want to rewrite it, I want to creatively explore the idea. And that's why I wanted to put it on the vlog here, just to put it out there, just to have something. And maybe I'll approach it later, or maybe I'll come back to it or something. Here, I don't know, but here, this is the original, this is where the idea is. For me, the analogy just works so well because I can imagine all the different ways in my life that I've been searching for the symphony, and all the different instruments that I may have played with over time, and why things didn't work, or why things seemed like they would work, or how this analogy fits into all those different types of relationships. I decided to tell this version of the story using the analogy, but honestly, the analogy could have gone a different direction for a different arc in any number of ways. I want to put that out there to people. I'm going to put it on to hit record. I'm going to search for creatives that maybe want to like explore this idea further. Anyway, if you like the idea, if you think it's a cool analogy, feel free to share it. I hope you enjoyed it, and test it with your own life and maybe see if it's true, maybe see if it works. Yeah. Thanks for listening.